Welcome to today's Research Business Daily Report, where there's news about an honor for Larry Gold, then a little bit more news about Mervin Field, who died last week, and finally, Marketing Evolution's Rex Briggs tells us why Matt Goddard was wrong when last month he told RBDR viewers that measuring market ROI is a pipe dream. RBDR is sponsored today and this week by Focus Vision, your single source solution for quantitative and qualitative research. You're invited to attend Focus Vision's webinar tomorrow called Humanizing Data, the Evolution of Data-Driven Insights. It has a special focus on how researchers need to connect today with consumers. More about this at the end of today's report. The Market Research Council announced that it will posthumously honor the late Larry Gold, professional market researcher for much of his career and then the longtime editor of Inside Research, with a Lifetime Achievement Award. It will take place at the Yale Club this Friday in New York. We spoke last week about the death of Mervin Field, renowned California pollster, and we want to recommend that everyone read the beautifully reported and written New York Times obituary about Mervin Field that was prepared by Adam Nagorny. In fact, we're linking to a copy of it in today's video, so take a look at it. The first viewer to contact us after R2 Integrated CEO Matt Goddard stated on May 19th on RBDR that CMOs are kidding themselves if they believe that they can measure digital marketing ROI was Marketing Evolution President Rex Briggs. Now, Rex doesn't believe ROI is easy to determine, but it is achievable, important, and therefore worth pursuing. I'll let him explain it to you for himself.
Well, I actually agree with the argument that a lot of companies are not doing it very well.
Okay.
Where I disagreed was that I believe that there is great methodologies and techniques to do it very well and to get a good, accurate answer. And then marketers really need to be focused on how do I get this great quantification, because there's a lot of money being spent here, and if I can get the measurement right, I can drive my business in an important way.
What makes it so difficult to do?
Well, I think a lot of it is it's much cheaper just to look at the last click or just to look at the digital data. And in fact, if you look at digital in isolation, you're not also looking at television, magazine, radio, the full cross-media spectrum, you're missing a lot of how consumers' behavior is shaped. And so the cross-media attribution model is a much more expensive and more difficult quantification to achieve. But it's really what the better marketers are doing today. I mean, you look at most marketers that are spending in digital, and they have some type of quantification. It may be a simple spreadsheet looking at last click, which is not very good, and I agree that that's a problem. Two companies using different types of attribution modeling. Marketing Evolution is one of several different flavors that are covered in that space. And there's absolutely pitfalls in getting that measurement right. But there is, if you're doing a good cross-media measurement, there's a handful. Our approach is to combine both behavioral measurement and attitudinal measurement and get really rich profiles of consumer attitudes and behaviors. So, we're looking at all the Facebook data, all the digital targeting data, as well as offline data, where somebody lives, how far they're from the store, what kind of weather patterns are influencing them. So it takes a lot of data and analysis to understand, did someone buy, and if they didn't buy, why not? Was it an attitudinal perception about the product and its value or something else? The other way of doing it is really just the behavioral piece of it. And so you're only modeling the people who actually bought your product, and you're looking at what was a combination of influences behaviorally that you can detect. And that leaves a lot of stuff out of the equation. If you're only measuring what you can behaviorally observe, that's probably, we look at that, that's about a third of the data that you really should be looking at. Both companies that can do a very good job. So we have a database of a couple $100 billion worth of marketing spend that allow us to look at the general patterns and data. Today I'll be presenting some of our latest finding in mobile, for example. And we're doing now work in China and Brazil, and as well as a lot of work in the US. And so that develops our benchmark to see what would you expect from a given media. So if you look at any given campaign and you're not seeing strong results from a media, rather than us saying, well, that type of advertising doesn't work, we look at the database and say, well, are there other cases in that category where it has worked? and what's different about what's this marketer executing, so we can help them figure out how to improve their ROI.
Final question, how would you describe the progress that you are making in being accurate with your ROI measurement? Are we making leaps, or where exactly are we?
There's huge leaps recently, and really it's because the explosion of big data at a much smaller cost. So our ability to grab Facebook data, Axiom data, match different databases from different providers means that for any given consumer, we now have 15,000 data points to be able to model and understand why they took the behavior that they took or have an attitude that they have. That didn't exist even 2 years ago. And so, that explosion means that every single time we're doing a measurement and making a prediction about ROI, we're then validating that to what actually happened in the marketplace. And that makes the system get smarter and smarter, and it's a built-in accountability for accuracy with that.
That's your Research Business Daily Report. We've been sponsored by Focus Vision, your single source solution for quantitative and qualitative research. They're running a special webinar tomorrow, which we mentioned to you, and we're linking so that you can sign up, register for the session that I think you will find very worthwhile. We look forward to seeing you tomorrow on Research Business Daily Report.